we have about 42% of our GDP that agriculture contribute. Not only that, about 60% of our workforce is in agriculture. And that is the reason why when I came in as the governor, I looked at the budget of agriculture and I decided to move it from 0.5% that I inherited to about 12% as we're speaking, to ensure that we meet the Malabo declaration of at least 10% by subnational and national governments. And of course, I'm happy that President Bola Tinubu has established a very important relationship with President Lula da Silva of Brazil. It's a relationship that has been established on the basis of mutual respect and looking at the opportunities by both countries. And of course, if you look at the level of opportunities that we will certainly be able to achieve in this very short visit, you will agree with me that when we are talking about agriculture, let's look at even livestock sector. For instance, Brazil export about 200,000 metric tons of beef. They are the leading exporter of beef globally. The next is Argentina with about 50,000 metric tons. And in Kaduna, we are investing heavily in livestock development, apart from the fact that we are also leading Kaduna. We are talking about maize production. There have been sorghum. We are leading Nigeria. That is the reason why we became the first state in Nigeria to establish or to commission or to do the groundbreaking of our special agro-industrial processes that certainly will industrialize agriculture, transform agriculture, create jobs,
yes,
and address the problem of poverty and increase productivity in our own state. So I can say in essence, President Bola Tinubu,
I hear you, sir.
I've been someone that I've done a lot, and let me even clear this area. The reason why we're all here is simply because President Bola Tinubu has stabilized the economy in Nigeria. Because when you look at the time he came in, a lot of investors globally don't want to come to Nigeria to invest. Let me give you one example before I move on. The issue of even the $7 billion backlog that he was able to clear in the area of forex, that has really increased the level of confidence by investors who can come to Nigeria, invest, and repatriate their profit. When he came in, there was a lot of problems. Some of the reforms he initiated.
Nuisance Lele. Nuisance Lele.
These are the problems. When you have criminals holding sensitive government positions, and they will confidently, right, face the camera, and they will be rolling out lies, fake statistics, because they are very sure that nobody is really going to fact check them. And when you now look back later in a year or two and you ask them, but you told us that you have this, so what happened? They will tell you another story. Number one, farming in Kaduna, from the time immemorial, was never number one in Nigeria, farming, whatever. And it has never been. And it is not, and it has never been. Well, we all know why. As the insecurity sort of like escalated in northern part of Nigeria, the real sector affected by over 90% of its productivity got destroyed in the last 10 years. The criminal politicians, just for optics, you will see them. They will gather people and tell you that they are distributing fertilizers. Some will even like display tractors, farm tools, and tell you that that's what they are now using in their state. And when you are using commercial, like, mechanized farming, so to say, you are expected to have more yielding sort of like a production. That is not the case with these rogues. It is all for optics and that. And even in the video, they were showing you farmers who are using hoes and cutlasses. Now that one go feed the nation. Now that one go end food inflation. People where they use cutlass and hoes. But criminals like this, goes all over the place, and don't even ask about how much billions that they have expended or they are currently spending on this trip. But you know something? In the last 2.5 years, majority of them have been following Tinubu all over the place. Guess what? In the last 2 years, it's only been about 2 or 3 states in the entire Nigeria that have attracted any foreign direct investor. Shebi Tinubu, they tell you saying they signed multi-billion-dollar deal here and there. This will be the 3rd time it's going to be to that same Brazil in 2.5 years. And mind you, the 2nd time in the space of 2 months. It was there in July. Now he's there. Oh, hang on. It was actually July. He was there last month. He was there last month. Now he's there again now. They told you about this, they are Brazilian, this signed this or that. But despite all of them following him everywhere, Tinubu has not been able to attract any direct investor to Nigeria in 2.5 years, any major investor. Other than them going on their media announcing bogus this, bogus that. And that's why all you can see with Tinubu, right, is that he's been awarding all these contracts, trillions and trillions of naira contracts to his friends who have been also facilitating his meetings in some of these international engagements. Tinubu the other day displayed that they imported, how many? They imported 2,000 tractors. I saw them all. And yeah, don't ask me about the person they gave the contract to. That's not the point for now. Right? But where are those tractors? Anyway, so they are in Brazil, Sha. The liar said that 45% of the IGR is from agriculture. Ask him what he's been planting and where have they been planting and harvesting that. You get? It's unfortunate. But Kolu himself, right, had a speech written for him. But before I go to Kolu, the guy who volunteered to be Kolu's campaign manager in 2027, Bago, has declared that there is no hardship in Niger State. So I decided to share the first video that pops up after he said that. It is the video of a dilapidated school, a community school in that same state. Niger State is also rated as one of the poorest states in Nigeria today, unfortunately. However, criminal politicians from all these places are giving themselves different awards. Yeah, they are organizing different awards for themselves, patting themselves on the back, clapping and giving themselves standing ovations for doing the most wonderful job for their people, right? So the first video, and that is absurd statement. Listen to this.
There is no hardship in Niger State. What used to be the price of food? What is the price of food today? So significantly, people just say that because we are not talking. And that's why I have taken the responsibility.
I go to the market.
No, to drive.
I go to the market.
Yes. How much is a bag of rice today?
Oh, it's still expensive.
It's not expensive.
It is.
How much is minimum wage? We've doubled your minimum wage. Triple.
Relative.
Minimum wage used to be 30,000. Now it's 80,000.
It's 70.
No, in Niger State it's 80,000. This is how we're paying.
You made it 80,000.
But state and local government, yes. So we've done a lot. The reform of the president, my father, Aswaju is my father, and I'm proud to say it everywhere. But I will tell you, I have taken it as a responsibility to become the Director General of the Aswaju campaign for 2027. And that is why the turnout of voters for the by-election was massive.
It was.
People are happy. We've built their roads, they are secured, nobody terrorizes them again, and they're happy. And this place used to be, governed by terrorists, but now we are peacefully living. The people are excited, they've gone back to their farms, production has increased, they have input from the farm, everything is working.
So what do you
But you see, when you have economic policies, the shock will come in. But it depends on how you also adjust. So the adjustment is what people don't want to say. And that is why we need to educate people. Did Aswaju spoil the schools? No, he's trying to fix them. Did he spoil the hospitals? No. He's trying to fix them. Did he spoil the roads? No. So when somebody is coming as a Mr. Fixer to fix the economy, I think Nigerians should come and support him. And let me tell you, we have an unwritten understanding that power devolves from the north to the south. Unless somebody is an enemy of Nigeria, you will not.
Nuisance Lele. Nuisance Lele.
Dishonest bunch. Niger State is one of the most hit states by the Fulani terrorism. It's also the place where they have the highest number of ungoverned areas in Nigeria today. When we're mentioning states with ungoverned areas are the areas where the terrorist states are fully in control. Nigeria government, Nigerian security agents, they've abandoned the people in those areas. But look at that. So people with that kind of mindset who are investing so much in the media, believing that they can use the media, right, to change the narrative from what people are feeling to what they want them to possibly feel while they wait for a better deal. Characters like that with confidence, because they just wanted to sound like the, pure like sycophants, so to say. They want to sound so supportive. And in the process, right, they are making more and more, mockery of themselves. But as they say that you can't really shame the shameless, just look through them and see when you see shameless people in the position of authority who are working on their own kind of like a statistics that they pulled out of their asses. Yeah. Unreliable statistics, and they are planning, development, security, and others based on, God damn it, based on this imaginary statistics. How do you get results? You won't once you have dishonest people in the public place. Mind you, let's go to the boring part. Kolu, that dinner they organized for him in Brazil. Here.
Presidente Lula, presidente da República Federativa do Brasil, ao povo brasileiro, chefes e líderes de governo, a todos honrados ministros de ambos os países, membros do nosso grupo empresarial. Eu ouvi atentamente meu amigo, meu irmão, presidente Lula. Nós tivemos uma discussão longa. Falamos sobre a história, sobre a herança africana e brasileira. E tentamos desvendar por que é que nós ainda não estamos no nível que queríamos estar. Nós já permitimos muitos problemas e muitas atividades no passado. E isso nos deteve, de certa maneira, e impediu o progresso e nossas promessas, mas hoje dissemos, hoje isso acaba. É a minha terceira visita ao país, atendendo o convite pronto e o amor do presidente Lula.
On the partnership
para fins de parceria. Primeiro a visita no G20, depois eu vim na mudança climática, no BRICS. E hoje, cá estou hoje, uma visita oficial, uma visita de Estado, no momento muito emotivo, mas com uma discussão baseada em fatos que tivemos hoje pela manhã. Então eu quero lhe agradecer, presidente Lula, porque estamos então fazendo essa oportunidade, não só vendo a linguagem e o idioma que nos separa, que são barreiras, mas também a possibilidade que nós temos à nossa frente. Hoje, nós estamos lutando e trabalhando arduamente para trazer a nossa soberania para um nível de que somente juntos poderemos desenvolver nossas economias para auxiliar na nossa soberania. Concluímos em vários assuntos, como transferência de tecnologia. Nós temos uma população muito jovem na Nigéria que está incansável, uma população que está pronta para a guerra, para trocar ideias, está pronta para melhorias. Uma população que vai utilizar essa oportunidade. Eles sabem que o Brasil tem os ativos que nós precisamos.
Anyway, that's a call. So I was just telling them that, it's an opportunity. It's an opportunity for Nigeria and Brazil, despite the language barrier, an opportunity for everybody to explore in both countries. So you should just go and look at what you think you can do. Mind you, right, they signed an agreement, an aviation agreement, that you can now fly directly from Nigeria to Brazil. Fraudsters Otobokeyamo was there to pen the paper. Maybe that's something. Do you get that now? So they can fly from Nigeria. You can have a stopover in that country that Tinubu gave them free education and sent nurses and doctors to be paid for by Nigeria to their country. What's that country's? What's the name of the island again? Anyway, there was a call in Brazil. Everything else that you're probably going to read about it are just going to be the other cooked up lies to let you know that Tinubu's reform is coming back later. Not now, it's coming later. So if you are struggling right now, don't worry. Just pray that that struggle no kill you. Here you get. So, and if it kills you, right? Maybe your children will enjoy it. That is the message that Tinubu's handlers and others are sending to Nigerians. Right. Here is the Ojulari, the NNPC GMD, appointed by Tinubu, almost got removed by Tinubu's paramour, and then he got saved by rats. Now, he was talking about the oil theft in Nigeria. And I think we've said that on this platform before as well, right? Those who are stealing Nigeria crude oil, they are not just some unemployed youth hanging about in Niger Delta with buckets to steal crude oil. This is an organized crime against Nigeria that involves, as they say it, international syndicates with their local collaborators, the insiders. So Julari was talking to the security guys, talking about the increase in surveillance and other stuff.